you're gonna have to forgive me here. I had full, like, what's the word? Like ambition, no, like the goal was to be fully ready, dressed, ready for this call. And then I realized I was a mom and I have 3 boys. They would not get out of the pool. So I'm literally sitting here with no pants on. I'm not gonna show you guys. I got my swimsuit going.
Hi, Trisha.
Hey, lady. Oh, I am so glad you're presenting gorgeous. You look fabulous. And I'm also glad you just missed my little spiel, but I got a shirt on in a swimsuit, so we're good. All right, lady. Do I have any guys on the call yet? We got to get this thing rolling here. Okay.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Paula. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Alex. I'm looking at your cute face. Haven't seen you in forever. So good to see you, girl. And everybody else, we'd love to see your faces. Nobody could look less prepared than me. So let's see those faces. Guys, really quickly, before we start and I turn the time over to Miss Lauren, there you are, Ashley. I just want to thank you guys for being here on this Zoom tonight. Everybody is so busy. You all have so much going on, and yet you took the time to be here with us, with Lauren and I tonight. And what we're going to provide you over the next few weeks is exceptional. It's different than we've ever done before. If you guys have ever experienced our One Team University calls before, thank you for coming back. Hey guys, welcome. And let me get a few things out of the way before we start. So if you've never used Zoom before, remember if you click on the chat box, you can chat with everybody. So go ahead and do that now. Tell us where you're zooming in from. Yes, that is now a formally, like it's a known verb. So we're zooming in here. Let us know where you're calling in from, okay? Now, we're doing it a little bit differently. Typically, I get some leaders and we go over a structure of how do we get you guys to executive faster, or how do we get you rank advancing. We decided, and actually it was Lauren's idea, the genius girl over here, to just share our stories over the next few weeks, because we have some really powerful stories in Isagenix. And you guys are so honored to hear some fabulous stories over the next 8 weeks. Are you guys good with that? I'm hearing just some great stories along with a few tidbits of their hottest tips and tricks. Are we good with that?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, because the reason why is we're all going for the same thing right now, right? The rapid reset. Who's going for that double cash? Are you kidding me? I'm going for it. Well, I already hit manager, so I'm really excited about that. Who else has hit the first goal already? Anybody? Anybody on the call hitting manager? Yes, come on. Alex, so close. I know Jody hit it. I know Ashley is going to hit it tonight. We've got some stuff happening in the works, but when do you guys have? You have it till April 1st, right?
Sunday.
April 1st. Nicole Hammondtree, you already hit it. Of course, she always does. She's amazing. All right, cool. So that is our goal right now, April 1st, hitting Crystal Manager. Now, Lauren tonight is going to be sharing how she did it. How did she hit Crystal Executive? All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute a few people real quick so we keep our lines nice and clear. All right, so are you guys okay if I brag about Lauren for just a few seconds? Yes? All right, I see some of your teammates that obviously love you and are excited about this. So let me just share a little bit about Lauren. For those of you that do not know her yet, all right? She is a START ambassador. She's in the START 1000, which is basically anybody under the age of 35 who has accumulatively made, how much money, guys? $100,000. So they're a part of our 6-figure club, all right, under the age of 35. She is a 5-star Golden Circle, 6-star Crystal Executive. She's a Colorado native. Anybody else from Colorado on the call? Anybody? I know Alex is. Shauna. Awesome. She loves to work out, cook, shop, hang with friends, family, and she's a huge Broncos fan, which is why I respect her, right? All right. So her background and passion is in fitness and health. Kind of a good place to be in Isagenix, right? So she's in the right industry. She is a fitness professional, a clinical nutritionist. So she knows her stuff. And what I love about that, guys, is it makes me feel really good to be in a company that is full of people like Lauren, professionals that understand health, nutrition, and fitness, and that have chosen Isagenix as their vehicle. All right. I'm going to ignore the Steeler fan comments in the chat box. She's been doing this for 15 years, guys, not Isagenix, but this industry. She started in 2013, and she was number 2 in the ISA Derby. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Let's see, she got the personally enrolled RA award in 2014. She was a rising star in 2014. She has gone to top. She was a top achiever in 2015, 2016, 2017. Let's see what, I just want to make sure I get all of this. And she won the 2016 President Quest. I'm just getting excited just talking about all these awards that she has won. Now, I met Lauren actually at ISA Derby, right, Lauren? That's the first time we met, right? And yeah, our ISA Derby. And guys, one of the reasons why I asked Lauren to be a part of this is because her story really is so powerful. I love seeing young people that were really just kind of in a spot of like, what next? Like, what do I do? How do I get myself out of this situation? How do I live a life of service, of contribution, of passion? How do I really make a mark in the world? And that's where Lauren was. And she chose Isagenix as her vehicle, like I already mentioned. And I'm so grateful she did. She has been such a bright light in my life. She has added so much value. She is powerful. She has grit. When she sees a target, she hits the target. I love working with her. She pushes me to be better every single day as a leader, as an ambassador for this company. I just think the world of you, Lauren, and I'm so excited that everybody here, my team, your team, and others get to hear your story. All right, so Lauren, you can go ahead and take over. And really quick, guys, just so you know, if you click on the right top corner where it says speaker view, you can see Lauren big and bold and beautiful, or you can keep it in the like Brady Bunch boxes. It's whatever you want to do. All right. Okay, Lauren.
Goodness, Trisha, you're so sweet, you guys. And honestly, huge kudos and thank you for Trisha for putting this on. I asked her because I know she's done this a few times. She said this is your 6th or 7th or 6th one. 6th that she's, you know, grabbed leaders from all over and just opens us up across the company. And really, truly like the epitome of one team. And I happen to be the first of like 9 weeks, you know, taking us through the Crystal executive date. But you guys are going to, you know, have the opportunity to hear from Laura Stevens and Lindsay, and there's so many great trainers coming up. So you guys are all invited to do this. And Trisha will be so great about getting the recording too, that you guys can pass on to your team if you can't be on. We're just really grateful that you guys are here. And honestly, when she put it together, and we happened to be in a group chat, and then we got on the phone, and it was me and Lindsay and Trisha just talking about what the agenda was going to look like. And I'm kind of doing a fast track, and Jessica Rigner's doing another one. And I said, okay, well, what can we do that's different? Because we always are like, oh, well, you train on connecting, or you train on overcoming objections. I said, what if each and every one of us just like a little bit about our story, but then what exactly we did, and then what we do for others? Because every single trainer has a minimum of at least 5 personally enrolled Crystal executives as well. So we kind of know what to do for other people. And the idea was for you to hear that Lindsay did it totally different than how Laura Stevens did it, and how I did it, and how Jessica did it. And that along the way, you guys are going to learn the golden nuggets that you're going to figure out how to not just enroll and not how to overcome objections, but really truly duplicate. And that's the vision of this. So Trisha, I don't think you have like a Facebook page or anything, but I mean, you guys reach out to us on like Facebook Messenger, like text us, call us, any one of us. By doing this, we want to help you, you know, and if something doesn't make sense on a call, or you need assistance, like that's why we're here. Like we truly, truly love what we're doing and want to do that. So I know some of you know my story, but there's people on here that I know I'm meeting for the very first time, I think. And I do want to open it up with my story, because a lot of what I did in such a short period of time had to do with where I was. But I spent my 20s exchanging time for money, working in various jobs, trying to get out of the massive amount of debt that I had gotten myself in. So I have 2 bachelors and 2 masters. And while I was in school my entire life, I managed to accumulate over $100,000 in debt. A lot of that was student loans, but some of it was also poor credit card decisions while I was in school and living outside of my means. And then I chose professions that were not high paying. So even though I was really passionate about being a clinical nutritionist and I was really passionate as a personal trainer and I loved teaching group fitness, none of those paid me very well after my overhead and insurance and taxes and everything else. So I was waiting tables, I was bartending, I was catering, I was running boot camp classes. I mean, I was doing all kinds of things trying to make ends meet. And I literally, for over a decade, and if my sister was on here, she would tell you, I worked 80 to 100 hours a week. I mean, I literally from like 4 a.m. until midnight every single day. And I always get like really kind of emotional around like holidays or certain get-togethers when I realize like how different my life is, because this Sunday, I'm going to brunch with my family, but there was many, many, many years when my mom started planning Easter brunch. I was like, do you guys want to come into the restaurant? Like, I'll make a reservation in my section. And like, my idea of spending time with my family was if they came in and I got to wait on them. Like, that's not the way that should be. And, you know, God bless those people that are waiting tables and that's what they've chosen to do. That is not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So along that way, I also learned about network marketing, and I didn't really realize it was network marketing, but I learned about all these companies, both product-based and not, you know, health and wellness, for various reasons. And part of it was all of my clients were in a health and wellness company or some type of home-based business. So I either like had nutrition clients coming to me and saying, hey, like, you know, I'm also doing XYZ. What do you think about this? And I learned about Herbalife or Avocare or Shakeology or whatever it was because my clients wanted my opinion. Or I got invited to all these parties. People were like, hey, will you come to my, you know, thing on Wednesday night? Or will you come to my thing on Thursday? And when I tell you I have sat through it all, I've sat through it all. Like I sat through jewelry parties and Tupperware parties and insurance parties and knife parties and sex toy parties. And I always walked out of there being like, yeah, no, thank you. Like I didn't feel the integrity and the congruency when people like told me what would happen. I didn't ever like align with a company that I was super excited about, you know, like never, ever, ever was like, I want all of my friends to buy a bag every single month. Like that sounded exhausting, you know, like I don't want to do facials and put mascara on people. So it was never fit. Yeah, they're passion parties. Now you're going to hear about one. You're probably going to get invited this week, Trisha, just because I said that. I'm not even kidding. I didn't know what it was till I got there. It's a true story. But anyway, so I didn't want anything to do with it. And I actually ran from network marketing. And another piece of the story that I don't always tell people, but on this call I want to, is my mom and stepdad were in a network marketing company my late high school, early college years. And my sister and I watched them lose everything, like literally everything, like bankrupt, you know, foreclosed on a house. And we were like, oh my gosh. So when you hear like pyramid scheme, like we watched that happen. And it literally was an illegitimate company with no products, you know, a reinvestment of money. It was awful. But it's those types of things that give the entire industry a really, really bad reputation that people go, oh my God, Lauren and Rachel are in network marketing. That's my sister, because we hated it. We were so against the whole thing. But I really think that timing is everything. And it's like, you know, it's God's timing. It's, you know, the universe timing, whatever you want to believe. And sometimes things just show up really differently. So I had known about Isagenix. Like my cousin had used it. She was someone that was like, what do you think about these products? And I was like, yeah, they're clean. I don't have an issue with that, you know, but I never really wanted to do that. And, anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. So I'd known about it, but I never wanted to do it. And people had said, like, you'd be so good at this. You know a lot of people. And I was like, yeah, not my jam. I went to school and have a master's in nutrition, not to sell what my hairdresser sells. Like, that's what I had been saying. And I'm sharing this with you because don't give up on people, you guys. Don't give up. I mean, my cousin talked to me about Isagenix on and off for 6.5 years. 6.5 years. Like, the whole time she was a product user. And I was like, no, no, no. And in September of 2013, my whole life went upside down, like really fast, like 48 hours, like my very average, mediocre, overwhelmed, overworked, underpaid, unfulfilled. But what I knew was okay, crashed to my rock bottom. And it started on a Friday afternoon. I paid off my extension to the IRS. So 2012, as a young business owner, I didn't allocate taxes properly. And I filed an extension, so I paid it off, which basically wiped out my checking and savings account. And then that night, I found out my dad was diagnosed with something called MSA. If you guys don't know what that is, just think of it as extreme Parkinson's. And I share that part of the story because this would have been the first time in my adult life that I felt like I couldn't ask for help. Not that he wouldn't have, just my own pride and ego. And then on that Sunday morning, my boyfriend, who I had recently moved in with, like just a couple months before, been with for many years, broke up with me on the spot. Was just like, babe, I love you, but this is not going to work. And so that Monday morning, after first and last month's rent and deposit and everything else, I had $17 to my name in clothes. No furniture, no kitchen stuff, like no decorations, nothing. Just me, just clothes, and $17. And you can imagine the panic that I had, and I just turned 30, and I didn't want to call anybody and ask for help because I had too much pride and I had too much ego to be like, I suck. Like, I'm broken, I'm broke, I'm failing at life, you know, I'm in all this debt. I really, truly held it inside. But my cousin, because she was the one I called, we've been very close when Kevin and I had broken up, she picked me up, she helped me apartment hunt, she knew what I was going through. She reached out to her sponsor who told someone who told someone who told someone and went up the Isagenix food chain to Janet Elo. And a lot of you know Janet Elo. A lot of us come down from Janet Elo. She has spread her angel wings so deep into over 300,000 lives. I mean, I will praise her, you know, till the sun goes down every single day. But she called me and she just said, hey, hi, you know, my name's Janet Elo. And I was like, what? Like, who is this crazy person from Spokane, Washington? But she said, I heard what happened to you and I can help you. And she will tell people I was hostile, and I will say, I know I was guarded. The last thing I wanted to do was be sold. But she cast this vision for my life. And Janny didn't sell me shakes. Janny didn't sell me a compensation plan. She sold me a lifestyle. She sold me an opportunity, right? And she was so altruistic, so giving. And I just remember thinking, nothing like this is going to come around in my life again. Like, nothing. Like, if you don't do this, your 30s, your 40s are going to be the same as your 20s. Like, you've got to do something. And she asked me questions, you guys, like, what would it be like to not exchange time for money? What would it be like to have a team of people that were like-minded and we could help people outside of my zip code radius, you know, like internationally, across the country? She talked about the traveling with my friends and family. She asked me a scary question, like if I ever had kids, what would I do for maternity leave? I mean, she really got me to think outside the box. And I was like, okay, like, well, what do I have to do? Like, this sounds great. And all of a sudden I realized I'm getting into one of those things. I'm like, oh boy, here this happens. And she had me map out you share, they share. At the time it was called you plus two, them plus two. And I have this original piece of paper that I drew with like a Sharpie. You know, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. But what I saw was 6 people and $820. Okay. I know now because of our, you know, bonus of the value pack has changed, that's even higher. But at the time, that's what I saw. And I remember just thinking, 6 people? I get 6 people to hop on the system and I'm going to earn $820. Now, the other way I want you to think about this is I was making $12 to $15 an hour, you guys. Do 820 divided by 12 to 15. Like, how many hours would I have had to work in any one of my jobs to make that money? And I was like, I have to do this. Like, literally, like, God dropped the most amazing thing in my lap with the most amazing mentor. Like, you have to go. And so knowing that, part of my story was all about speed, was all about urgency. And one of the things that I knew very, very, very early on was if it was going to be, it was going to be up to me, right? If it's going to be, it's up to me. I was never going to expect Janny to do it for me. I was never going to blame Janny for it. I didn't know who was going to join me and who wasn't. But just like when I've wanted to lose weight, it's up to me and nobody else. Just when I wanted to graduate high school, it was up to me, nobody else, early, graduate high school early. Like, whatever the things I set out to do, that I was like, I have to do this, right? But I knew it was going to take hard work. And so I'm just going to, like, this first part is kind of what I did. And then I'm going to go into now what I've helped other people do. So the very first thing that I will tell you that I was coachable. And what I mean by that is I was never defensive. I never took anything personally. And I did everything and more that I was told to do. Like, I joke, but like, if Janny had told me to go out in the snow in January and make 20 snow angels, because that would have made me max out the leadership pools, I would have done it. Like, whatever she said, I did. I mean, that woman would get me out of bed at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Like, she'd be messaging me. I'm like, Janny, I got to get up and go to work in like 2 hours, you know? She's like, are your sticky notes up? And I'm like, well, no, I'll do them in the morning. She's like, no, right now, get up, text me as soon as they're done. And I was like, this woman's nuts. But I was like, she's the millionaire maker. Like, she has created all these millionaires. Like, right, Janny, I'm up. And I'd be like writing on my mirror with like lipstick, like sending her a picture. I'm like, Crystal Director, can I go back to bed yet? You know, I mean, there was times like, she drove me bananas, but I knew that she had my best interest at heart. Like, I really did. I was like, why is this woman obsessed with me, you know? And then I had to like find gratitude in that I was like, so many people would probably love this, that I did whatever she said. Janny would text me something And by like 2 hours later, when she was like, what'd you like about that? What'd you learn? Like, I listened to it. I did what she said. So she would send me, she still does these. Like, I woke up yesterday morning with a podcast. I'm like, okay, it must be good. You know, it's like, I didn't even want to get out of bed and go to yoga until I listened to this, because I'm afraid she's going to say, hey, what'd you love about Trudy? You know, and I'm like, okay, like, I'm on it. You know, she sent me a sermon from, you know, the church that she goes to. If she wanted me to go to an event, like, I literally did whatever she said. And so some of you are brand new and some of you are leaders, but be coachable. I mean, success leaves clues. And this is not the time that you want to come in and be your own badass and try and do it your way. If you've gone executive, right, and you've maxed out this compensation plan and you've created 20 executives and you're Susan Sly, you're Nick Kirkpatrick, and you figured out your own way, awesome, then do that. But otherwise, do what everybody else is doing. It works, you know, like, just like we all do the 30-day system. If you follow it, it works. If you cheat on it, it doesn't work. If you do what we say, like, print out your map to crystal executive and get to an event and get on calls and, you know, write your goals out and have a vision board and have a whiteboard, it works. It's not hard, you know, so be coachable, and everybody has their own variation in this. And that's what's going to be the beauty of these calls over the next couple months. But honestly, the people that are mentoring you, if nothing else, know that your success makes them successful. Like, sometimes people are like, why are they making me do this? Like, if you feel like you're getting bossed around, you feel like it doesn't sit right, like, we only want the best for you. So the person that's telling you, get that off your Facebook wall, you're negative, or how about you do this, or that's not compliant, or I want you to listen to this. I mean, they not only want the best for you, but it also benefits them. Like, they're not like steering you in the wrong direction. So part of that was to be coachable. The second thing was, Jenny said, you've got to get to an event. Like, within like weeks of working with her, she's like, you've got to get to an event. And I was like, what? You know? And she said, I can't teach you in 2 years what you're going to learn in 2 days. You need to meet the Cougars. You need to get to this event. She wanted me to go to ICU in Kansas City. And I was like, what, lady? Like, I have no money. Like, I have no money. And you want me to miss 3 days of work to sit through this event that's going to cost me a few $100s, right? Out of state and a flight. Like, you're insane. And she said, figure it out. I'll get your event ticket. I mean, it was like a non-negotiable. And I was so afraid that this woman was going to not be calling me anymore. I hadn't even met her in person yet. My cousin says she's going. I can sleep in her hotel room. So I'm like, okay, got that part covered. And I needed the flight. You guys, one of the things that we get paid is daily pay. I mean, our product introductory bonus on the Premier Pack, the Ultimate Pack, the Value Pack, that pays you in 24 hours. Like Jenny said, figure it out. Sell 2 President's Packs. You can buy your flight. And I was like, what? Like, but I mean, that was the standard. And I'm sharing this with you guys because if you put that pressure on you, if you put that standard on you, you'll figure it out. Like Eric Worre says, if all of a sudden you had the cure for cancer, you don't think you could get 20 people to buy it. When you see that we have the Willy Wonka of nutrition, we have this golden ticket to change the trajectory of your life, to free families from physical and financial pain. When you really get it, like, you'll move mountains to figure it out. And I was already making money with the company. I'd already been feeling better. So my belief was high. My conviction was high. So I did. I said, okay. And I remember there was like a Saturday morning and I was supposed to teach body pump and RPM and I would have made like $40, right? Jenny said, sub out your classes and get on the phone. And I was like, what? You know, and it was like so scary to think about doing that. But when I was realizing with our PIBs and double PIBs, I'm like, okay, in the same 3 or 4 hours, I'm going to drive to the gym, set up, teach my classes, drive home and make $40. Was there another way that I could make $40? And it was like one of those moments, like I made a few hundred. You guys, in my early run, I was enrolling 5 or 10 people a week. I mean, that double PIB money changed my life, right? But there was standard, there was that urgency. And so I did. I went to the event. And I will tell you that in the beginning, I had to do it. I was at rock bottom. I was sitting on a floor and she asked me, like, what do you want most right now? And I said, a bed. 30 years old and I'm gonna sleep on the floor of an apartment, right? Like in the very beginning, what started with me, and then I loved the products. Now I use the products every single day, you guys. I do, but I came for the business and I'm transparent about that. But I was feeling better. I was seeing a change in mental clarity. Like I had been losing weight. My sleep was better. My stress was better throughout everything. So I was talking to people about it. So I was already doing okay, but that event took me from like a 7 out of 10 to a 12 out of 10. I mean, when you hear Tracy O'Malley say you want to walk out of there 10 feet tall and bulletproof, like I already was on a mission and I already had a vision, and that's what made me unstoppable. And literally, you guys, when I had made, you know, a couple $100s, a couple $1,000, I went on to make 50K in my first few months. I mean, 6 figures in 6 months. And everybody will not do that. And that's okay. Right. But that was my vision, because I was so buried in debt. I was so exhausted. I was so tired of people telling me what I couldn't do. It was like, get out of my way. This is what I'm doing, with or without you. And there were so many people that laughed at me. You guys, there were so many people that unfriended me on Facebook, things I don't share very often. I got hate mail from my clients and patients, hate email, like telling me I was a sellout, that, I got lost into a pyramid scheme. Someone called me a money whore once. I mean, hurtful things. And if it weren't for Jannie Elo, I wouldn't be here. But she just poured belief, poured belief, poured belief, poured belief. And she would say, you're going to let one person distract you from, the 500 people you've already helped. You're going to let one person, take away this dream, what you're doing for your family, the people that you're helping. And one time, very transparently, you guys, she told me about stuff that happened in her marriage when she was getting really busy, and her husband did not necessarily want her doing this. And she said, imagine if I had listened to Craig. Imagine if I had let him stop what I was doing. She's like, 300,000 people wouldn't be here. Like 30 millionaires wouldn't be here. I mean, nobody on this call probably would be here. And I was like, gosh, she's so right, And so I'm sharing that with you because as soon as you set out to do something audacious, resistance is going to show up. The enemy is going to show up. You're going to be challenged. And then you go back to, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Why did you set out to do this in the first place? And people are buying your conviction, your certainty, your passion, your enthusiasm, your vision. When Jannie told me that my life was going to be forever different, when she would pour into me that I was going to travel around the world with my best friends and my family, like she said that over and over and over and over, that there wasn't room for doubt. And I'm sharing this with you because now we have an obligation. We have a responsibility to do this for other people. Okay. So I'm a little bit sidetracked. So super coachable, right? I got to an event and then I started learning. I've been in school my whole life. Right? I went to school for many years to become a nutritionist. Plus I went to all these continuing education, cost me thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, okay, to be making less than 30 grand a year. And now all of a sudden I'm telling myself, I'm gonna be a 6-figure income earner. Within 10 years, I'm gonna be a 7-figure income earner, but I know nothing about leadership. I know nothing about network marketing. I know nothing about sales. Clearly it's a skills-based business. You have to learn the skills in order to do this. And so I committed to not listening to music anymore. If I was going to meal prep, I was going to listen to a podcast. I was going to listen to a training. When I drove to work in between all of these jobs, I was constantly learning, right? Like my Mini Cooper became the University of Isagenix, like the University of Network Marketing. I would listen to Chris Harder, and I listened to Lynn Hagedorn, and I listened to Lisa DeMayo, and I listened to the Cougars, and I mean, the Zach Slobin. It was like constantly playing. I invested in a Bose speaker, which I still to this day use, because I hated starting a podcast and getting in the shower and missing part of it and getting out, or like blow drying my hair and missing it. So like the speaker was loud enough that I could be in the shower and I could keep learning. I could keep figuring it out. I stopped taking group fitness classes, you guys. I love yoga. Like I love classes, but that was a time that I could be learning. If I went and just lifted on my own and did cardio on my own, I could be learning. And so I inundated myself. If Jannie said, read this, I did it. I would ask people, I went to events and I would say, like, what's a book that changed your life? What's something that really helped you in this? And someone said, Get the 4 Agreements. So I read it. Someone said, Go Giver. So I read it. Think and Go Rich. I got it. Business of the 21st Century. I got it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I got it. I had bookshelves and bookshelves and bookshelves of nutrition and sociology and psychology and criminal justice and all these things. And I said, if I'm going to be a professional in this, I have to learn it. Right? Like I couldn't just post on Facebook and think like, I'm going to become a millionaire if I learned social media. Like that was a piece of it, but I share this with you because you're going to earn as you learn, right? I was making a few $100s a week in double pibs, but it cost me $20 to buy a book or 2 on Amazon. The return of investment was already paying for itself, but sometimes we just think like, oh, they did it. I can do it. Yes, anybody can do it, but it takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. And I'm telling you this because it didn't just happen. I didn't get lucky, you guys. Trisha will tell you this. I'm on an inside leg. I mean, there is nobody up above me putting anybody in my business. There is no trickle down. Like anything started from me down. And I'm so grateful for that, you guys. Had I been on a team leg with business volume, whatever, I would have maxed out a while ago. I don't care. I don't care. Like there's so much ownership and like, this is my business. Like I built this organization. We've duplicated since, that that's not the point. And so when you're thinking like, oh, that person got lucky, or, oh, they were on this team, it doesn't matter. I have people on a maxed out leg doing nothing, and I have people on an inside leg crushing it. If you want to do it, do it. If it's going to be, it's up to you and nobody else, right? There's so much support in this company. There's so much training. There's so many tools that a lot of times the only person in your way is you, okay? So then I made a list, a really big list. And some of you guys have heard this story. Some of you have not. I decided, and this was one day I was trying to go 1-star to 2-star with PIBs, like with those cycle equivalents, if you guys know what that is. And I called everybody. Like I literally called everybody, but I had started doing this even beforehand to go executive. And when I tell you I called everybody, like I printed off my Facebook list and I started messaging them if I didn't have their numbers. I went through my phone A to Z. And here's the thing, there were people I didn't know on my phone, right? Like I would look at that and I was like, I have no idea who Brooke Anderson is. Like no clue, right? But I was like, what if Brooke Anderson's going to be the next Laura Stevens, right? I didn't even know Laura Stevens at the time. She wasn't in. But like, what if she was going to be the next Susan Sly? What if she was the next Emily Vavra? I was like, I should maybe call Brooke Anderson, right? I'd be like, hi, you're in my phone. I don't know how we know each other. Like, I don't remember how we got connected. I said, but I was introduced to something that has absolutely changed my life. It's absolutely changed my life. I'm telling every single person without judgment, because if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. And I refuse to keep this secret to myself. I enrolled people like crazy. I remember Janie being like, where are these people coming from? I was like, I don't know. I really don't know. And sometimes they were like, I don't know how I know you either. Like sometimes they were like, oh, we waited tables together at Old Chicago in 2004. And I was like, oh, where do you live now? Like, what are you doing? You know, like, I mean, I really didn't know. You guys, this is a true story. I'm going to add a little bit of humor. I remember calling people that I met on an online dating site when I was living in Arizona. Like, and like calling me being like, hi, I don't know, I have your number. Like literally they were like, yeah, you never called me back. And I was like, oh, you want to buy some shakes? Like, not kidding. Not kidding. My sister can tell you, like she was sitting there next to me at some of these like early days. And I was like, that was awkward, right? But you grow outside of your comfort zone. I failed forward. I learned not what to do. I knew what to do. And there were some of the most random people that said yes, that are still with me today. And like, are like, there is no other reason to explain it except divine intervention, that I had their number, that I reached out to them at that time, and they're here. So you just never know. And it's not about having these magical scripts, you guys. It's not about knowing the ins and outs of the products. It's about being passionate. It's about being excited. And it's about being focused on somebody else. So we are self-motivated, right? I mean, that's what makes us call people and not watch TV. That's why I'm on this call and not, at a happy hour or something. But when you're internally motivated, but externally focused on their goals, what problem are you solving in their life? That's when people are going to show up for you. So I would say, hey, this was my experience, but this is what I think it can do for you. Like the reason I called you, and Eric Worre's script of that you're busy, to compliment them, and just ask them if they're taking a look, is perfect. And that's what I would do. I would be like, Shauna, I don't really know how we know each other, but you are like the fittest mom on the planet. I said, I'm in a hurry right now, but I see that you're into nutrition. I see that you're into working out. Something was introduced to me that has absolutely rocked my socks off. If I could show you something, would you be willing to take a look? Is this something? I mean, whatever it was, I literally talked to everybody. Then not only did I talk to people online or on my phone, I got committed to, I wasn't going to drive anywhere. I was going to take Lyft and Uber because they want supplemental income. Every time I was going to go to the King Soopers, I was going to go out to meet my friends. I was going to go to the gym. I got in a Lyft. I got in an Uber. It's all a tax write-off, FYI. But guess, I was constantly adding people to my list. I got obsessed. Like Jessica Rigner and I used to compete. Like how many people could we talk to? So I would talk to people in line. Things I used to love, self-checkout. Things I don't do anymore, self-checkout. Who am I going to talk to? Me? But if I get in line, I get to talk to the cashier. I get to talk to the person in front of me, the person behind me, sometimes the person next to me. I mean, obsessed with paying attention to what's in people's carts and saying, hey, how long have you been drinking Gatorade? I used to drink Gatorade. I found out a new amazing electrolyte drink. If I could show you something that would make you feel as good, that's healthier, is this something I could share with you? People are like, oh my God, yeah, is Gatorade bad for me? I was like, yeah, it actually is. Like, give me your number. We got to check out. I'll call you later. I would look in people's carts for Red Bull. I would look for cheesy protein bars. Like, I got obsessed with finding people. I used to love the aisle of a plane. I have a little small bladder. I prefer the aisle. But now I like the middle because that's what I call the consultant seat, right? one on the left, one on the right, 2 people, one of them is bound to talk to you. Like, travel with the lookbook. Like, there's a PowerPoint that's like a bunch of before and after pictures. I conveniently usually pull it up sometime on a flight. People are like, whoa, right? Like, Trisha's are in there. She's got a great transformation. It's like, people are everywhere. There's 600,000 people in Isagenix, you guys. I mean, there's millions and millions of people in the world. We're in 14, now almost 15 countries again. Don't tell me there's not people to talk to. There's multiple millionaires in Phoenix, in Arizona, and Trisha's constantly enrolling people. Every time I talk to her, she's like, oh my gosh, I just met this girl. Oh my gosh, I just met this girl. Oh my gosh, I just enrolled another person. Like, nowhere is saturated. You have to open your eyes. You have to open your heart. And so before, when I was saying to you, like, success leaves clues, Jenny Elo and Eric Coover taught me to write these intention statements of the people I wanted to partner with, right? And like Tony Robbins says, either you will find it or they will find you, right? You will find it or it will find you. So I would write out things like, I want to find, people that are burnt out. They're tired of exchanging time for money. They're looking for supplemental income. And sometimes I would hear a story somewhere and I could just be like, I'm so sorry to eavesdrop on your conversation, but I heard that you're a waitress and you're so tired of like slow shifts. If I could show you how to make extra income, could I? People would show up. I would write out, I want to help moms that want to be home with their kids. I want to help trainers that are broke, even though they love health and wellness. And out of nowhere, someone would message me, and be like, hey, like, I don't really know what you're doing on Facebook, but are you hiring? I'm like, well, no, but I can help you. So literally finding people to talk to every single day. You guys, this is something, the 3x3x3, which comes from Susan Fly, of talking to new people, following up with, new people, and doing 3 acts of service. So three of each of those is something that is in my blood. Like, I work out every day. I eat food every day. I talk to 3 new people a day. I follow up with 3 people a day. And I do 3 service-oriented things every single day. Like, make this a culture. Make this a standard. You'll see a shift in your business. When I was first getting started, I told you that I wanted a bet. And Janny told me $820. And she said, you need to find 2 people that know 2 people. I said, what? She goes, 2 people that know 2 people. This is literally the conversation. Mom, I know I've made you do all kinds of things over the years. I'm going to try this 30-day reset. It's totally natural. The products are clean. I don't want to do it alone. Will you do it with me? Sure, Lauren, whatever, right? Oh, by the way, you need to have 2 people. Why? I don't know. This lady in Spokane says you have to do it with 2 people, right? It's going to work better if you have 2 people. She's like, well, who are your 2 people? I'm like, well, you're one of mine. I'm working on my second. So she came in with my aunt and my stepdad. My mom is my original consultant. She's still a consultant today. My stepdad and my aunt still order products underneath my mom, okay? Very similar conversation to my sister. Rach, all those elimination diets and paleo diets and things I told you to do? I'm going to do a new 30-day. I want you to do it with me, right? And she's like, okay, right? Skeptical. I'm not selling anything. I don't want to be a part of this thing. Is it a cult? All of that happened. No, just do the program with me. Fine. But you have to do it with 2 people. What? I'm like, I don't know. This lady in Spokane says you get better results if you do it with 2 people. Like, you want people to cleanse with you instead of go to happy hour with you. So she came in with her best friend and her husband. Both of them still in my business, right? Rachel's still a consultant in my business. She's actually Start 1000 too. But that's where it started. And because it happened so fast and it was that simple, we didn't know anything. I told you I'd never sold anything. I'd never been in network marketing. And I sure as heck wasn't going to throw out nutrition jargon on a company I didn't really know anything about, right? I was like, I'm trying this. I want your guys' testimonials. I want you to do it with me, right? That's how we built this business. And we went fast, you guys, because we were ignorant on fire. Sometimes the more you learn, the more you get in your head. So we adapted our enrollment form, like chocolate, vanilla, powder, liquid, whatever. It literally says on there, who are your 2 accountability partners? Because even people that don't want to build this business, they're going to ask. They're going to ask. We have set a standard. I was on the phone with Cal, if you guys know him, our regional sales director, a little bit ago. And I told him 2 people I brought in this week are coming in as consultants. One's already in, the others I have to like put in tonight and tomorrow. But it's because I show them that cashback bonus immediately. So this girl Mercedes, who I just sponsored, she gave me a spray tan. Maybe she'll be my next Mackenzie. But a spray tan over a year ago. I stayed in touch with her. I followed up with her. She's finally ready with the promotions and everything. I just mapped out you share, they share. I told everybody I enroll, every single person, every single time since the day I got started. And she then went out. She's like, okay, let me start talking to some people and I'll let you know. A few hours later, a girl from work and her boyfriend are doing it with her. She knows nothing. She has no results, right? She didn't sell anything. She literally just said, I'm going to do this 30-day system. I want to feel better for summer. I don't want to do it alone. Is this something you'd be wanting to do with me? That was it, right? Like sometimes we make this so hard and so complicated. And so just remember, if you can commit to every single person you bring into this business, every single person you're talking to, honestly, to show them you share. Even if you don't go, you share, they share. If you just get to finding accountability partners, right, and showing them how to get their products paid for with 2 referrals, you will see massive, massive growth in your business. Because here's the thing, a lot aren't going to do 2, but they're going to get 1. Imagine if every single person even just came in with 1 person, what that starts to do with your business. Now, I'm going to shift a little bit, and then I just want to leave a few minutes for questions. But a lot of that, you guys, when someone comes in and says, I want to go fast, I want to go executive, like, tell me what you did. A lot of it is that same thing. And I'm like, okay, you got to be coachable. Like, you've got to do what I say. If I tell you to have a launch party, have a launch party. If I tell you you've got to come to Nashville, you've got to come to Nashville. How bad do you want this? If you're a 6 out of 10, you don't want it that bad. Call me back when you're a 10. I was like a 12 out of 10 of how bad I didn't want to sleep on the floor at 30 years old with $17 to my name. I want those people that are willing to do whatever it takes. Trisha sold her fridge, you guys, to buy her pack. You talk about burning desire. She was like, I don't care. I'm doing whatever it takes. Like, we've heard of people in the company that sold clothes. They went and pawned something. I mean, they had a garage sale because they wanted this opportunity to never be in the situation that they used to be in, right? I mean, that's what the people I'm looking for. But if they're saying, I want to go fast, I'm going to create 10 consultants in 90 days, right? You're going to double these bonuses in half the time. It's going to take work. Like, it's not just going to happen. 10 people are not going to show up with all their 2 friends and be like, okay, I'm ready, you know? And so part of that when I'm working with people is, are you coachable? Are you willing to listen to podcasts? Are you going to talk to people? Are you going to, approach your chicken list? Are you going to talk to strangers? Like, you have got to kind of plant the vision. It's a conversation game. For most people, it's 10 conversations per enrollment. Plus, we know that it's 6 to 8 follow-ups. So if you're trying to enroll 10 people right now, you're going to have to talk to at least 100. But we know that not all 10 that finally sign up are going to be the ones that find their 2, right? Plus, then they have to talk to their 10 or 20 to find their 2. Like, you guys see where this is going? But if you have people that are not sharing, and you know you're going to have to enroll more than 10 people, because not all of them are going to come in with their 2, people need to have a list of like 300, 400, 500 names, and you need your people to have a big list. And that is something in the beginning I did a disservice of, right? Like, of not really, and I'm talking about people going executive, not going consultant. People want to go executive. It is not as simple as the first 10 people you talk to sign up and come in with 2. So having this realistic standard of how many people you have to talk to and the time that that's going to take. And the analogy I use, and I said this in Philly, for those of you that may have heard me say this, if you go to a restaurant and they say, hey, your table is going to be ready in 15 minutes, and an hour and a half later, you're still waiting, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed off are you? Right? However, if it's the other way, they say, oh, your table will be ready in about 40 or 45 minutes, and you get seated in 15, you're like, hot damn, right? Like, that's awesome. Do the same with your team. If you're going to promise them that they're going to go executive, be realistic about what it's going to take, because along the way, if they're doing anything successful, they're going to trust you, they're going to believe in you. But if you set false expectations right away, if they're not achieving them, they're going to feel like a failure, they're going to feel like they suck at this, and they're going to quit. Right? So for us as leading other people, it's so, so, so important, I think, to really set that expectation. We use that enrollment form that I told you about, because when people are like, oh, hey, what do I need to ask them? I don't even talk about anything. We're not pre-qualifying them as a business builder. I just send the form, right? The team knows to send the form. They ask questions. What flavor bar do you want, right? Like, what flavor weight thin do you want? Do you want your greens in a canister or packets? Who are your 2 accountability partners, right? And then people say, like, what do you mean? And in there it says script, here's your response, right? We just say the company statistics show you get enhanced results with 2 accountability partners. We all come on with 2. I got started with boom, boom, right? Like, it's written out. And you'll see that people just start to say this. They don't even think twice about it. They've asked everything else, credit card information, date of birth. Who are your 2 accountability partners? One of the things I love to do to help my people get paid is have a tasting party. You know, I know a lot of things we're doing virtual online right now, but I still love that belly to belly. I like to have it fun. I like to get to meet people, but I say, hey, if you were to do like a little tasting party, a little fun get together, you have an amazing transformation. I'll bring the products. I'll help with the samples. I'll help with the presentation. I don't want you to feel like you have to do this. Would you be willing to invite a few of your friends over? You know, like get them together. We'll make it fun. We can bring some healthy snacks. I like to do an event around with it, or something that makes it worth their time, even if they're not in Isagenix. So we've done like Taco Tuesday. We've done mimosas, like Babes Bubbles and brunch. You know, we've done clothing swaps. We've done toy exchanges over the holidays. Like you can get really creative with it, but people are willing to do that. And I say, if we make it fun, we'll tell your story. If they don't want to do it, great. If so, awesome. But imagine if every single one of your product users did a tasting party, just said, hey, I'm not necessarily selling this. You know, I'm not a distributor or anything. I just am really passionate about what's happened to me. I want to pay this forward. The girl that got me started is going to come over and help so that all of your questions are answered. And if nonetheless, we'll all just hang out and have fun together. Like imagine if all of your person enrolled could do that. Like you would create consultants like this. We've done challenges with our tasting parties that we've encouraged people to come in with there too. Like we've said, hey, by the way, for everybody who brings 2 new guests to the party, you're going to be entered for an hour massage. You know, say, I cannot help enough people if I tried. Like I need you to reach out and pay this forward. Every single person that it brings a minimum of 2 guests to the party is getting a $100 gift certificate to Nordstrom's. Like we've done things to incentivize that they're coming in with their 2 people. They didn't even know they're coming in with their 2 people. But those weren't my guests, right? So if Alex comes and she brought Steph and Valentina and they all are fired up, they saw Trisha's transformation, they're blown away with the Transform Your Life video and they all sign up, guess what? Alex is a consultant like that. So you guys are talking about going fast, have an event. One of the things I did is I did Ignite Your Life, which is my opportunity meeting every Wednesday night. And I did a tasting party every Saturday morning for months, you guys, months. I don't do them as frequently as I used to, but I'm telling you, I built my business on it. Like if you want to go fast and we're talking to people that want to go fast, you got to get in front of people. You know, I just was on the phone with a chiropractor earlier today and I said, we should do a wellness event in your office. You know, I said, I'll set up the tastings play. We can do a wellness Wednesday, tell your patients to come in. We'll, you know, serve some healthy appetizers. Do a little presentation, like you'll have a few people that are ready to hop on board and they become walking billboards and then they'll have more people on board. He's like, you'll help me do it? Absolutely. You know, if you've got practitioners in your organization or you want them, offer to assist them with that. And the last 2 things I want to share with you that I do with other people that I think helps. There's this idea of the Crystal Consultant bonus, and I did not create this, you guys. It comes from PK Smith, but it works. When you enroll someone, right, and they come in with their 2 people. So if I enroll Doris, right, and she comes in with Lisa, I'm looking at like the names on here, right? When Doris finds her 2 people, she gets $50. That's the consultant bonus. When one of your personally enrolled finds their 2, you get $100 for rank advancing them. You get $100 for developing them. So I would get $100 for helping Doris find her 2. The Crystal Consultant bonus is to give half of your bonus away, so you only get 50, and you match what Isagenix is doing, paying that 50 back, right, in order to create urgency. So PK Smith teaches this within 48 hours. So if I, you know, get Brooke started tonight and I say, hey, if you find 2 people to hop in with you, you know, by Saturday, not only are you going to get XYZ from Isagenix, you know, but I'm going to match an additional $50, but it's got to be in by Saturday by noon or whatever it is. I do 1 week. That's the way I've done it. I've always done it in 1 week. I give them 7 days. I know everybody's schedule is different. 2 days can be a little crazy, or even for me, if I can do calls at that time, I do 1 week is what I've always done. The minute I get somebody started, I draw you share, they share, and I say, and if we do this in 7 days, you get an extra $50 for me. Okay. Any one of you guys can do this. You don't have to be a 6-figure income earner to invest in your business, right? I mean, I started doing something like this so early on, so early on, because I knew that the benefit of bringing 2 or 3 people in instead of 1 was worth it. You know, like it was so worth it. And be generous. The more you give back, people trust you. They know that they're borrowing your belief because you're investing in them. So don't think about this as what it's costing you. Think about the investment that's going to come back to you tenfold because you're supporting somebody else. So wherever you are in your business, you guys, do contests, motivate your team, and find out what drives them. So if you've spent more than 5 minutes with Trisha and I, we could not be more dichotomous. In 30 seconds, you know how red I am and how blue she is, with a lot more yellow than I'll ever have. Like the day I show up with a bathing suit top on and a baseball cap, like something is seriously wrong, right? Love you, but you guys know how different we are. So there's no way that we are going to be motivated by the same type of contest. Yes, of course, we both want the executive. We both want Isa Derby. But in general, we're probably not going to want the same things. I might work for a Lululemon jacket and she might work, for basketball tickets to go take her kids to or something. Get to know your team. Ask them, what are the things you love? If I love Nordstrom and I'm throwing out Nordstrom gift cards and no one's working for them, apparently they don't like Nordstrom, right? But if there are things like Bronco tickets, if it's a massage, if it's product, like find out. Like I've done surveys and polls in the team. If you could win something, what motivates you? A trip, a massage, a canister of shakes, product B, time with me. That's awkward, right? Like I'm like, why would anyone like hang out with me? Like to see yourself that way. But it's true. Like some people are going to work more for like an hour lunch with me where I can look at their business and do coaching than they ever would for the Lululemon jacket. So I've got a lot of people right now that I'm going for Crystal Manager, right? Like I not only am trying to do it myself, but I want my own personally enrolled to hit Crystal Manager again. I want them to grab this. I have a contest for them. They know it. Like the first one that's doing XYZ, you guys can do this. I mean, I've got people that are all like one away from consultant or just recently enrolled looking for it. I have them in a contest. Hey, every single person that goes consultant by April 1st, XYZ is happening. Sometimes it's cash. I've got them in different ones. Sometimes I'm going to take them to lunch and a pedicure, right? Sometimes I'm giving them something for them as a couple. Like you guys, I know that what this does for relationships. I know that it takes time away from the home. So I'm like, when you hit this bonus, I cannot wait for you to spoil your husband with a date night on me, right? Like you guys deserve this so much. All you got to do is nail this goal, but spend the time getting to know your team. Don't assume what motivates them. And the last thing of that too is don't also assume how to communicate with them. Ask them. Like when I'm working with someone, what's the best way for us to communicate? Do you want Facebook Messenger? Do you want text? Do you want to get on the phone with me? Do you want to Zoom? Do you want a Marco Polo? Like ask them. There are some people that are absolutely going to want the video messages. Oh my God, those Marco Polos are great. That's a great way for me to learn. Cool. Some people can't stand those. They're like, text is best for me. If you could just text me some stuff or keep me in the loop. I mean, that's part of you leading people. And so when you're working with people and you're trying to help them find their two, remember those things. They're going to trust you. It seems little, but they are. So when you can send a Marco Polo and be like, oh my gosh, Valentina, like you just got, Chris started, you're only one away from consultant, you're doing awesome. And they're going to be lit up when they can see your face, right? If Shauna was like, don't ever Marco Polo me, and she gets that from me, she's like, why is that woman doing that to me? She's like, I told her to text me. And some people are more visual. They have to be able to write it out. Like you guys, we speak Iso-Latin in the beginning. So I have to constantly type out, hey, you just got, Jen started with a value pack, $100 bonus. If you were to get a second person, here's the bonus. They double, plus the 50, plus what I'm matching. I can say that on the phone. It is in one ear and out the other. I can say it again, in one ear and out the other. But if I type it out and they can read it and they can start to see, they're like, oh, that's what I need to be doing. So really, in terms of how I've created other executives, this is part of it, is the communication, believing in them, spending time with them, doing contests with them, teaching them to be coachable, teaching them to make their car the University of Isagenix, getting them to an event. Like literally everything that Janny did, it works. It absolutely works, but people have to be willing to do it. There's one other thing I was going to say before I asked for questions. Now I just lost my train of thought. Oh, this is like the hokey pokey weird energy stuff that I rolled my eyes about forever until I started having it come to fruition. Okay. Janie was like, make a vision board. I was like, you want me to do what? She's like, make a vision board. And I was like skeptical. I was so afraid to dream, you guys. Like my light was off. Like I was never going to be capable of things like that. And she kept saying it. She kept saying it. Podcasts kept talking about it. Finally, I was like, well, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to get excited about things that aren't happening anyways. Like I have nothing to lose. What if those things did happen? Like maybe I should do this. And I remember the very first one I did was right after that ICU in Kansas City in November. And by Christmas, 99% of the things on there had come to fruition. I was like, that was luck. But I did another one. I had to update it. Right. And then it all came again. Like I literally live in an apartment right now that I had put out pictures. and like somehow knew where I was going or created that. And it's weird. I'm like, oh my gosh, my apartment looks so much like that. I mean, trips I've been on, the leadership pools, the trips that I've won with Isagenix. And so if you're really going for this, you guys, you have got to train your subconscious mind. Like what you focus on, you find. What focus on, you grow. You know, what you focus on, you think about. What you focus on, you become. Like all of that is so true. Sticky notes all over the place. You know, like I have the background on my phone, like one on the mouse pad of my computer, like on my wall, on my bathroom mirror, in my car, on my fridge. People come over and are like, why does like your house always say 250 cycles? Like what's an 8-star? Like I'm like, I don't care. Doesn't matter, right? Like I care, again, more about maxing out this compensation plan than someone asking me about what it is. You have to see it, because what's going to happen is you're tired, you're working, your kids are sick, you're exhausted, it's 8 o'clock at night, and the last thing you want to do is call 3 people on your chicken list, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to sit down. You know, I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to have a glass of wine, tomorrow's a new day. And all of a sudden, in the background of your phone says Crystal Executive, right? Or it says 10 cycles, or it says Crystal Manager, whatever it is. And you're like, okay, I'm going to follow up with a few people. I'm going to send some voice messages. I'm going to send some Marco Polos. I'm going to text some people. You know, when you get up in the morning and you're tired and you're thinking, man, I just really want to listen to like Blake Shelton today. Or, you know, like I don't want to listen to Chris Harder necessarily or David Norrie, but you've got this big old sticky note on your bathroom mirror. You're like, okay, I'm going to listen to Trudy Maples' team call. It was probably good last night. She knows what she's doing. You know, it's like, you're going to start to make different decisions. So you got to get clear on this. Print out your map to Crystal Executive. 3 levels deep. 3 levels deep. Remember, the first 10 you enroll are not going to be the ones that always share with 2. Who's on your left? Who's on your right? And keep track of like how many people they've enrolled. Who's a pirate? I mean, you've got to see it. You have got to know your business. I mean, just like when I was personal training, I didn't just know one leg exercise. I didn't just know one chest exercise. You've got to know your business. Use the reports. Use IsaPulse. I mean, things that Isagenix has created for us. But honestly, print that out. Carry it everywhere. And across the top, put the date that we need to hit it. We all know what that is. And your why. Big, bold. Like literally, like mine was like, I don't want to sleep on the floor. Like I want a bed. I want a couch. I want a kitchen table. Like all of the upfront bonuses you guys furnished my house. Literally people come over and I was like, is this the Isa couch? Yep, sure is. You know, like that's true. But now, like, I've got things like I want to go visit my sister in Mexico. I want to go visit my friend Lori in Hawaii. Like some of this bonus money that's not my residual income, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be super fun to go do that. That's what's on mine. Have your whiteboard, have it in front of you, like have your goals in front of you. Those intention statements and writing out your goals work. And a lot of us are like, oh, that's busy work. I don't have time to do that. Then guess what? You don't have time to make $4,000. If you don't have 10 minutes to in a journal, say, I enroll people with ease, I rank advanced people with ease, to write out the characteristics of what you're looking for, stay broke, stay unhappy, stay in your job. I don't care. I mean, I do, but like, I mean, it's up to you, right? If it was going to be, it was up to me. Janny coached me. She mentored me. She didn't drag me. And that's the most important thing. If you're dragging people, you are. My friend Jessica Rigner always says, we're not doing CPR at the morgue. I'm done dragging people. If you don't want to listen to the call, if you don't want to write out your goals, you don't want to have a vision board, you don't want this. I would rather spend the time finding the ones that do than dragging the people that are not ready. And if you feel like you're doing that, let go. Let go of them. Like literally, let go, because now you have new people that you have space for, right? If you have an old car in the garage, there's not room for the new one. And if it's you, and if there's a bit of you right now going, yeah, I don't write out my goals. I don't call a lot of people. My vision board, I haven't updated since 2015. Look yourself in the mirror. Like you really have to hold yourself accountable. When I am gaining weight, it is not Isagenix, you guys. It's the fact that I decided to eat pizza, I wanted to drink wine, and I skipped the gym. The products work. When I'm doing really well and I'm losing weight and I'm feeling good, it's because I'm drinking water, I'm eating salads, I'm exercising, I'm doing my shakes. It's the same with the business. If you call people, you follow up, you have gratitude, and you work on your subconscious mind, your business will skyrocket. If you stop, it's not going to work. And it doesn't matter if you're on the left leg, the right leg, who enrolled you. It's as simple as doing the do. So that's what I got for you guys. And I'm like so fired up right now. I'm like literally sweating. I'm like, if I had a shirt underneath this sweater and not just my bra, I probably would have taken it off. I'm like, for real, like I love this if you can't tell. So I know we have a few minutes, but Trish, if you have anything you want to say or any questions, you guys, I'm here.
You're like the soccer player, Jenny, right? Just tear it off, Lauren. It's all good.
No, seriously, I'm like for real sweaty. It's like snowing outside. I might run outside.
Girl, you just lit a fire under all of us. I have so many freaking notes here. I want to open up the call, guys. If anybody has a question or just wants to share a takeaway from tonight, please unmute your phone and share with us. The chat box has been going crazy. I'm watching, guys. Lisa, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I love that you right away just asked them, who are your two accountability partners? That's genius.
Right on the form. That was beautiful, Lauren. And I know a few people asked if you have that script. You can let us know if you want to share that later.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Doris?
I think that one of the things I really appreciated hearing was how you sell the lifestyle. You know, how you bring that into play right away with them rather than the product, so much the product, you know, because that's what it's all about. That's what's going to change in their life is their lifestyle. So why not put it right out there and ask them, like you say, you know, just as you shared with us, what is it you want, you know, what would make your life easier rather than product. That's
Thanks,
one of my
Doris.
takeaways.
And honestly, it's so true. I sat down with a guy today. His name is Trevor. He bartends at a restaurant I go to quite often. We went to coffee and he was like, all right, so what's the deal? What do you do? And so I'm going to tell you, don't worry. I'm very transparent. But just out of curiosity, if time and money were of no issue, what would you be doing? And he gave me this. I was like, I'm serious. I know it's weird. It's a magical question. It's a really fun way to get to know people. Just tell me, if time and money were of no issue, what would you be doing? And literally, you could see him open up and getting excited about places he wanted to travel and things he wanted to be doing and all of the places his life is limited right now. And so if there was a way in the next few years to make those things possible, would you be wanting to know more? And if you didn't do this, how else would you get there? And he immediately was like, like, what are my other options? And that's how it was with Janie said that to me too. I knew I didn't have any other options. So it's so key to just get people to see it because their guard goes down because they know that you're not selling them. Because if they say no to that, they're saying no to their own dreams. They're not saying no to a shake.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Love that. All right, guys. Well, it is time. And honestly, this has been better than I could have imagined. And I hope that everybody across the board feels like that. Lauren, you guys all know, if you didn't know before, now you know why I love her so much and why so many people follow this woman. Lauren, thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to ask that you all do us a favor. I am going to be doing a post in a few minutes here with the beautiful Lauren and just sharing some of my takeaways from tonight. I would love for you guys to go to our Facebook, my Facebook, and respond about what you took away and one thing you're going to apply immediately. Because guys, we're not here to just talk. We're here to see results and to help you guys see your own results. All right, we good? Okay, well, next week we have the incredible Lindsay Wynia, who has been on the call this whole night with us. Guys, leaders lead by example. Lindsay has been here learning and supporting Lauren. And I hope you guys all come back next week and support Lindsay. And please bring your teams because I promise you're going to love it. All right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Trisha. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.